Ahoy there, me hearties! This be Captain Silver Hook, and you're listening to the Two Old Pirates podcast. Set sail for an open sea of stories, tales, and some really crazy stuff. I expect you to like and subscribe, lest you be walking the plank. Ha ha ha!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. This is episode 131 of the Two Old Pirates. This is another missing persons case that I've thought about doing for a while now. This is Where is Suzie Escobedo? Suzie lived in the small town just up the road from us. It's about 80 miles away, small town of Seadrift, which, if you didn't know where it was, you'd probably miss it. Suzie was a 25-year-old mom of two children, and very, very close to her family. On the day of August 1st, 2018, the day was going by. She was at home. She had just had a newborn. It was a 4-month-old baby. She had worked at a Mexican restaurant previously, but after having the baby, she quit the job so she could be a full-time mom. They lived in a trailer home, the 100 block of Loop Road in Seadrift. On that day, Suzie was seen at a convenience store wearing a black and white striped maxi dress. Everything seemed more normal. During the course of the day, she had conversations via text through her phone with several family members, but abruptly at 1 p.m., nobody heard from her anymore, and she didn't seem to respond anymore. What we know officially, her husband was at work and came home at 7 p.m. at night. And when he came home, he noticed that Suzie was gone. She was not inside the house. The baby was there, and it was holding a bottle, which, if you know anything about 4-month-olds, they're not as, dexterous as older children. Now, all of Suzie's belongings were still in the house. Her cell phone, her wallet, everything. It was all left inside the house. Suzie was the only thing missing. She was reported missing a bit later on after the family still could not get in touch with her. There's some discrepancies here. Some people say that the original missing persons report was placed by her husband, and then there's other stories where the family argue this and say strictly they were the ones, that he never called the police after he got home and noticed that Suzie was missing. A camera picked her up at the Bayside Express convenience store that day. It was the last confirmed sighting of her. The family early on felt that there was a lack of urgency by the local police department and sheriffs and things, so they put it upon themselves to start knocking door by door in the Seadrift community to find out what happened to their daughter, to their niece, to their sister. Everything that I've read about Suzie was she was a very, very sweet young lady. She was a mother of two. She had a 7-year-old little boy and a 4-month-old little girl. And there was massive search parties by the family. They talked to the local LULAC representatives and said, "Can we get things together?" They did as much as they humanly could as a family to try to figure out what happened to Suzie. Seadrift, if you don't know, is on San Antonio Bay, and it's less than 1,000 people. So if you're watching this in Portland or Rockport or Aransas Pass, Ingleside, Corpus Christi, any of the local places that I try to share these with, it was little. When we moved to Rockport in the 1970s, when I was young, very, very young, there was maybe a couple thousand people there. We had a flashing light. And that's still twice as big as Seadrift is today. It's a small community. People know people. Things like this don't happen in Seadrift. Yet, in 2018, it did. Suzie seemingly walked out of her mobile home, left the baby and all her ID, phone, keys, everything, and just disappeared into the night. That was it. Just gone. Now, there's finger pointing that goes on and different things like that. But as far as we know, besides the texting that ended at 1 p.m., the husband who came home at 7 p.m. and said she was missing, but all of her things were still there and the baby was okay, there's literally nothing. They found no clothing, God forbid any remains. They've had really no tips on that she might have gone out of state or she might have ran away with someone. The Texas Rangers do not believe that she left on her own. They believe that it is a case of foul play and that she's more than likely deceased. Now, of course, the family, they don't want to hear anything like this because nobody would want to hear things. You always have to have hope. But from everything that I've read about her, she really, really loved her children. And like I said at the beginning, she was extremely close to her family. So to go, 7 years now, and there's never been a bank transaction, there's never been a phone call, there's never been a text, the birthday parties that have come and gone for her children, nothing. And a true mom would never do anything like that. So we need to go ahead and light a fire underneath this. I think some other people have tried to, cover it in the past, and this is just a small podcast, but we've really worked to try to get the word out for previous people that have gone missing. And this is nothing different. There's not a whole lot of information that I can give you other than the basics that they have out there. Right now, Suzie would be 32, and her baby that was left at 4 months would be almost 7.5. And her little boy, he's a teenager. And they're probably every day, where's mom? Where's mom? So if you have any information, the phone number has been on some of the pictures that I have of the local police department. You can call the Texas Rangers. You can call the local police department up in Seadrift. You can call Victoria. If anybody knows anything about what happened to Suzie Escobedo on that day in August of 2018, come forward. It's never too late. Let's go ahead and get the word out for this young lady so that the family can have closure and know what happened. And then that those, if they did do anything harmful towards Suzie, can be brought to justice and have to face for what they did. I hope, and I always hope, that there's a positive ending. I really do. If there's not, though, those people that chose to do something to Suzie, they need to face their crimes. It's unimaginable that you would take a mother, for any reason, away from her children forever. That's horrible. It's horrifying. It's disgusting. So please share this amongst everyone, and let's find what happened to Suzie Escobedo from Seadrift, Texas. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it to others so that maybe we can get the word out even more. If you have any information, call the number that's been provided. Until next time, I'm Eric from the Two Old Pirates. Peace.